Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am here with some serious Carl and Lindsay summer house updates. In fact, the one that we've all been waiting for, because ever since the news broke that Carl and Lindsay have called off their engagement, we have been waiting for them to release a statement. And today, that is exactly what we got, because finally, after over a week of speculation, of rumors, of uncertainty, Carl has confirmed that the split has happened. The engagement has been called off and the wedding is not happening. So, we are going to get into the statement and all the drama surrounding it. But before I do, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. So, first, let's recap a little bit because Carl and Lindsay, of course, called off their engagement. And ever since then, the rumor mill has been going wild. I mean, there is talk that Carl has a mistress and was cheating on Lindsay. And also, there was a pregnancy scare. Now, this is just rumors. We heard about it on Dubois. There were several blinds about this. So that has yet to be confirmed, but Carl does talk about it in his statement. We've also heard that Lindsay was completely blindsided by this news. However, not everybody is really believing that. A lot of people maybe think this is a PR stunt. Lindsay has a background in PR, so this could certainly be something like that. However, I don't think that that's the case because I have heard from several sources that this is in fact real, that Carl did in fact call the cameras to capture him completely blindsiding Lindsay by calling off the wedding. So, ever since we heard this news, we have yet to hear from Carl and Lindsay. You would think they would want to come out sooner and make sure that everybody has the story straight because otherwise we all just kind of, run with the rumors going on. But today we did finally get a statement from Carl, but it is not in the way that you might expect. People has reported Summer House's Lindsay Hubbard and Carl Radke officially cancel wedding after calling off engagement. This is a People exclusive. Words cannot possibly express how difficult the last 2 weeks have been for Lindsay and I, he wrote. We are so incredibly sorry to all of our guests for the confusion and lack of communication. We were left trying to figure out how this all exactly happened before we could even have the opportunity to determine the path forward amongst ourselves. There have been a lot of false narratives and misunderstandings that have made this all the more painful, but sadly, at this time, we are not moving forward with the wedding, Radke continued. The fact of the matter is, Lindsay is devastated, and I'm crushed with how all this transpired. I graciously ask for some patience and grace to heal and recover while we navigate this extremely difficult time. Acknowledging that their guests' commitment of money and time was already a lot, Radke noted, I don't take this lightly. We are super grateful for the love and support you have shown us and will do what I can to help with any costs associated with changing plans. Radke then discussed the alternative plans that their loved ones could pursue, including still going to Mexico for a vacation or canceling their reservations altogether before concluding his note. I'm sorry again, this has become such a mess, he wrote. Thanks for your unconditional love and support during this tough time. We'll be in touch with further updates. With love, Carl. So, at first glance, I thought that maybe this was a statement that Carl was putting out about their relationship, and People was the one to kind of, release it out into the public. However, that is not the case because Sierra has commented on our friend Bravo by Gay's post on Instagram, setting the record straight. Her comment reads, It's really fucking weird to think somebody on their guest list would copy and paste their statement and send it to a fucking news outlet. So, first of all, Sierra seems pretty fired up for somebody who did not like Lindsay or Carl last season. So, it kind of seems like potentially they are back on good terms. However, This is kind of crazy that somebody on their wedding guest list would leak this message from Carl. This was not intended to be, released to the public. This was intended for the wedding guests only, which is why it doesn't really explain much about their relationship and more about the wedding and the logistics of it all. But let's talk about the statement itself because Carl says some pretty crazy things. He basically says that Lindsay's devastated. And while he is the one that's also saying he's upset by it, he's also saying that he's sorry and he is apologizing, which definitely makes it seem like he is the one to blame here. So I think that confirms that he is the one that split it off with Lindsay from the get go. And then beyond that, can you believe that he is asking his wedding guests, oh, go take a vacation to Mexico since you cannot cancel your room? I mean, the nerve of somebody to cancel their wedding and then be like, oh, well, you can still go on vacation. Like, no, dude, we didn't want to go to Mexico. We were going to save our money, our vacation money, to go somewhere we actually wanted to go. Not that Mexico is not a beautiful place, but I'm sure people have other destinations on their bucket list to go before they have to go to Cabo or wherever their wedding was to their wedding. So I don't know. The fact that he's saying, "Oh, it's all right. You get a vacation out of it," I think is a little déclassé. And it kind of makes sense because does Carl have any class? I don't know. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy. It really, really seems like Carl is to blame for all of this that is going on with him and Lindsay. And I don't know. I mean, maybe Lindsay is better off without him. Now, we have yet to hear from Lindsay on this news, but I just saw on Instagram she is slowly but surely removing images of her and Carl from her Instagram grid. So that to me makes it seem like it is official. It kind of seems like she didn't know that this People news was coming and she's kind of, gonna make her own statement and remove the photos. Again, maybe telling us that this is actually official. So, this is the news that we have. We've been waiting for it for over a week, and we finally heard from Carl, but not in really an official capacity. Now, I wonder if he is going to release his own statement on Instagram since this came out to really discuss the Lindsay of it all. It's kind of giving Tom Sandoval, if you remember, after Scandoval came out, he released a statement that was more, backing up his business than it was talking about how sorry he was to Ariana. So this is definitely what it's giving. He's covering himself for the wedding drama and the costs and the guest list and everything, but he is not really, confronting the Lindsay of it all. So there is definitely more to come on this story. I am waiting for more and more drama to come out. I will be covering it all on Bravo Breaking News on Instagram and here. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything.